Renee Scott. I'm co-founder of DPI, along with my identical twin sister, Rosalind Rice. So, welcome everyone. We are recording this. And so, if it's a situation where you want to remain off camera, that's fine. But we love to see your faces. It allows it to be just a little bit more engaging. So, thank you so much for being here. We are going to get started. We have a jam-packed agenda. So, there is a lot of information that we want to share. And so, as you can see from Rosin and I and Myrna Lee's, we have our couches behind us. And so we are just going to have some coffee together, maybe some Coke or Pepsi, and learn so much about AI. Now, what I want to know is, of course, who you are. Put that in the chat. I want to know as well if you had an emoji that you could assign to your understanding of AI. Put that in the chat. Maybe are you like sad because you don't know as much as you think you want to know? Are you happy? Um, I see a little bit of everything in the chat, but I'm just wondering where you are in your knowledge place. Now, while you're putting that in the chat and who you are and what company you represent, make sure that you mute, right? That just protects the integrity of the meeting this morning. Know that this is for educational purposes only. Of if there's anything that we say that you have follow up with, definitely let us know. But it is for educational purposes. Are you using AI right now? Is that something that you are currently using in your business? That's my question for you. Do you think it's just for large corporations? Do you think that it is for small organizations? What's your feeling? How do you currently use it? These are some things that we want you thinking about. We hope that everybody on this call at least knows that AI is artificial intelligence. Um, but I wanted to kind of share how we got here. Like, when did artificial intelligence start? Is this something that just kind of came into being like post 2020? What's the deal? So I had to do a little bit of research because I wasn't sure, but it was actually started in 1956 as a summer research project. It was this collaboration between a mathematician and this computer science pioneer. And it's basically taking a look at the ability of machines to perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. That's what artificial intelligence is. And it's not just for large corporations. It's already a part of your workflow. Does anybody use Siri? Do you have Alexa? It's also used for fraud detection in financial institutions, autonomous vehicles, right? Those are kind of on the scene. If you've ever used a chat bot, like if you're trying to chat with someone in customer service, that's all AI generated. Note takers, we don't have any here this morning, but sometimes you're in a Zoom call, you see note takers, but they're also used to write jokes for comedians. Can you believe that? For image and facial recognition for security purposes, for cybersecurity, medical diagnosis. Now, when I saw that, I was like, ugh, it can actually, based on the information that a doctor puts in a chart, determine whether or not a certain health diagnosis. It fuels search engines, Google and Meta, and I mean, it's just everywhere. So it's here to stay. We've got to know about it as business owners, as employees. So that's what we are here for this morning. So I'm going to take you to our just an introduction back to our presentation, because just to share a little bit about who we are DPI, and we are a business management consulting firm focused on small to mid-sized businesses. We like to say we help you go further faster in your businesses. We have some of our clients on here this morning, and we do this through one-on-one consulting, operation support, HR consulting, so much more, holding you accountable, and we customize our plans for you. I'm going to take it back one screen because I do want to review what we're going to be talking about this morning. So, what is artificial intelligence? I kind of gave you a little bit about that already. AI prompt demo. So, Rosin's going to demonstrate that, some do's and don'ts, ways to use AI in your business. So we're going to tackle all of that, and buckle up. and have some fun with us. I have the opportunity to present our very first presenter, which is Rosalind. Of course, I've known her all of my life, but let me share a little bit because some of you may not know who she is. For over 25 years, Rosalind Rice has been at the forefront of corporate retail, shaping the strategies that have driven both local and global success. Her journey began with a passion for understanding how people connect with brands. Her influence, it extends beyond just the retail capacity. As a best-selling author and a business consultant for FIU here in the state of Florida, College of Business, she is passionate about sharing her knowledge and inspiring future leaders. I always, even though I've known her as my entire life, I have to read these notes because I just know her as my sister. Okay, so she is going to share with us and provide a live demo. So pen, paper, pull it out. You're going to want to take notes. Rosin?
Yeah, thank you, Renee. Let's just dive right in. The assumption that I am making is that most of you have heard about AI and that in some way you're using it. Many of our business owners are using it just in regards to content creation. Like, I want to make social media prompts, give me some captions, or what are the best hashtags to use? I want to start by saying AI is not Google, right? So if you're just starting by saying what is, that's more lending towards a Google search. So I want to give you a little bit of a framework on how you build prompts for artificial intelligence. AI thrives on your prompts, and we're going to talk about the many ways that you're able to use it within your business or within your work. So, this is a framework that I use. I've been using AI for about 2 years now. And I remember when I actually had a client that introduced me to it, and it was still being beta tested by OpenAI, which is, Chat GPT. And I was afraid. I'm like, oh my goodness, what is this thing that's going to come and take over the world? There's been a fast acceleration in 2 years, and I've done some deep research in regards to AI, a lot of classes because I want to be at the front edge of being able to adopt technology within my own business. So here's a bit of a framework. When you're using AI and you are building your prompt, and I went back and looked at what my initial prompts looked like back in 23, you must give it some context. You got to let it know who you are. As a business owner, as a business, are you a newly formed business? You can put in the first is your context. You can put in how long you've been in business. You can put in your website. Just give it context on who you are. Are you wanting to sound like a celebrity? Are you wanting to sound like an idiot? Are you wanting to sound like a professional, right? Give it a little context about who you are in regards to your business. So if you're a business owner, and I'll use this as an example of a skin studio, right? I'm a business owner of a skin studio. This is my website. This is what we value, right? So you start by giving it a little context, especially when we're talking about generative AI, because it's a conversation. The reason why it's called Chat GPT is because it's a conversation. So this is not a Google search, right? This is a conversation on where you're wanting almost like a best friend, a very intelligent friend to give you information. The next part of the framework is request. Exactly what do you want it to provide for you? This is where you really, the more clear that you are versus being general, it allows you the opportunity to get a better output. If not, if you don't put in a very specific prompt, then you get very general information that may or may not be true. I just have to say that in regards to AI. So let's say that you are a Michelin star chef. You gave it that context that you're a Michelin star chef. You have these different ingredients and you want to make a compelling, lovely meal for a new date that you have, right? Then you want to put in your request is using these ingredients, start by asking me what ingredients that I already have. So give it a request so it knows even more about you in regards to the prompt. You can give it an example. You can decide what type of tone you want. So if you want to be in the tone of a John Maxwell or a leadership guru or a wellness guru, right? You can give examples of the type of tone that you want to imitate. Or for many of us, we can train it to our own tone by uploading information. Now there's the opportunity to be able to upload information into our AI tools, and it can analyze and be able to say, hey, what is my tone? Is it explanatory? Is it concise? Is it professional? Is it compelling? Is it robust? Is it expert? Is it casual? Is it warm? Right? All of these examples help to provide greater output. Then, after the context, the request of what you want, examples of the type of tone that you want, then tell it what type of output do you want. Do you want it to give you a play by play, a timeline, a schedule? Do you want it to be in bullet point form? Do you want a blog, a short blog, a long blog, 154 word blog, right? Like whatever it might be in regards to the type of output, the more specific you are, the better the opportunity is to get what you need. Do you need a checklist? Do you need step-by-step instruction? Do you need a flow chart? Do you need a table? Do you need numbers? Do you need bullet points, right? All of that information helps frame the output that you're going to receive with whatever AI tool. Michelle will come on later and talk about different tools that you can use in regards to AI. So here are some do's and don'ts. Again, with the assumption that many of us are already, as Renee said, it's already embedded. Some do's. Do play with different AI tools. If you are only using ChatGPT, I am going to challenge you to look at other tools that you are able to use. Even in Canva, if you use Canva for content generation, it allows you to have an AI tool within Canva. Use it. Play around with it based on the framework that I just gave you. Make sure that the information is accurate. So when you receive that output, it may or may not be accurate. It kind of like searches the entire internet, which is the learning language model. And so if you say, I need 10 facts about I don't know, palm trees, but only three facts exist, it's going to make up the other seven facts because it's going to give you exactly what you asked for. So, one, you want to make sure that the information that comes out is accurate. Read and refine the output, especially as business owners. Don't allow it to just give your stamp of approval without actually reading and verifying, right? And you can ask it to list its sources, refining the output. Another do, realize that AI has limitations. It can be biased in the output that it provides, and it has some pitfalls, right? So it's not the end all be all. There needs to still be human interaction in regards to the prompt that we're putting in, and also how we're refining the output. Some don'ts. Do not upload proprietary information. Don't upload your, proprietary profit and loss statement or balance sheet or, your bank account information. That is a hard no. You do not want to put confidential proprietary information into ChatGPT. Do not try to imitate someone else, right? Plagiarism, that can come into play, and you want to stay far away from that. Yes, you can adopt a certain tone, but do not try to imitate someone else. Do not try to create business contracts. Listen, this is a huge one. People will go out there and create policies, business contracts, and I would say stay far away from that because that will have no merit if you get into a litigious situation. You want to make sure that you are consulting with sound guidance of an attorney in regards to your contracts. So it might give you a starting point, but that is not going to be something that's going to be able to stick in court in regards to contracts, transactions, agreements, partnerships, things of that nature. And don't make decisions solely based on AI. Shameless plug. That's why the incredible team of DPI is here. You do not want to make decisions solely based on what it has told you. So let's do a little bit of a prompt that I used. This is real time. This is a prompt that I used long time ago. I want to say in 2023. And it started with what are some employee retention solutions to retain employees in the US labor market? I didn't give it context. I didn't give it any examples. I didn't tell it who I was. I didn't say what my output, how I wanted it to be. So this is absolutely what you want to stay away from, unless you're using a paid version where it automatically kind of knows your tone and who you are as a business. This is not what your prompt should look like because you're going to get very limited. So I'm going to stop sharing only to reshare what my new prompt looks like. And this is a real demo of I needed to build something for a organization.
And Rosalind, while you're pulling that up, I'm going to ask, I know you gave a lot of information. And so while she's pulling this up, if there's any questions, feel free to pop those in the chat and we will absolutely get to every single question that you have.
Okay. So, oh, sorry. Gosh, I just did that. Remove this sidebar. Okay. So this is, I want you to just see the length of this prompt. I gave it context on who I am. I gave it my website, right? That's not proprietary information. I gave it how I wanted the output. This was actually a workshop that I was building. I gave it like examples of the tone that I wanted, the way that I wanted the output. I gave it a lot more information and was able to get an incredible output. The other thing that I want to share with you, and this is really a little bit of secret sauce, and sorry that I keep kind of going back and forth.
Rosin, and I was gonna ask because the writing was very small, so it may even be beneficial if you kind of read some pieces of what you put in the prompt through Chat GPT.
Okay, so let me show you what I put in the prompt. Well, I'll read it. So it says you are a business consultant. You're an experience working with business owners that are looking to scale, grow, and sell their businesses. Your team at dot two DPI2.com, so our website focusing on scaling businesses, gave a little bit of information about who we were as an organization. Currently, there is volatility in the market in the United States with tariff changes, lull in labor force. So I gave it information about the economy that we are in. You want to provide a pitch for a local university about money mindset. And then I gave it information about the course that I wanted it to provide an outline or a description of the course. I talked about pricing. I talked about how I wanted it to be a compelling and a professional topic. I put words, I say, put it in plain English. That is one that I use because I don't want it to use some type of jargon that might not be understood. I wanted it obviously to be in a professional tone. There are certain words for me that when I hear these words, I know it comes from ChatGPT. So I say, do not use words unlock, unleash, master, or power in the title. When I see those words, I know that that has been generated by AI. I want you to provide positive affirmations that will start to reshape their money and CEO mindset. So, as you can see, I got very granular in what I wanted in regards to output. If you're not doing that, maybe that's something that you're adopting today in regards to changing how you put your prompt and you build it in your chat GPT or whatever other AI tool you might be using. So here's a little secret sauce, and then I'm going to kind of turn it back to you, Renee. Once I learned this prompt, um, this is it. At the end of your prompt, you want to add this. Ask me all the questions you need to complete this task one at a time. If I were you, I would take a picture of this slide. The reason is when you do that, your AI tool is going to start asking you even more questions that will allow it to refine directly to the type of business that you are. It's a simple one-liner, but I'm telling you, it will make a difference. Ask me all the questions you need to complete this task one at a time. So it might ask you, what type of businesses, what type of industry? Like it asked me a series of 3 questions that allowed the output to be even that much more refined. All right. So I'm going to open it up and see, do we have any questions? Renee, you let me know if there are any questions.
I don't see any in the chat, but do we have any questions? Rosin, thank you so much because I
If we
am
don't have questions,
okay.
I just wanted to
Okay.
start for questions. But let me say, if you are, here are some of the benefits. ChatGPT is like having a very smart friend next to you. I want you to think about it as not only a tool, but truly an extension of your business. And what do I mean by that? If there are places where you need to improve or refine your communication, maybe there is a hard conversation you need to have, and you're not really sure how you need to have it. Throw it into ChatGPT and see what it throws back to you. So it allows you to amplify your message. It allows you to communicate more clearly. Sometimes we're so in our head on how we want to communicate, we might not be able to say it in a practical way that might not be offensive or unclear to someone else. So if you're struggling to find the words, it helps you communicate more clearly. It allows for productivity hacks, right? It is great in regards to saying, hey, how do I get over this roadblock in my business? It can help you with that. It can help you organize your workday. It can generate fresh content, right? And I know that many of us are using it. So maybe there's a place where we're using marketing or tools, and maybe you can do it organically through ChatGPT just to be able to get new ideas about something. It allows us to be able to analyze a heap of data. I had a client that gave me 8,000 SKUs or styles that needed to be analyzed. And through what would have normally taken me days, I was able to put a strong prompt into my AI tool to analyze this data. Nothing of it was proprietary, to be able to provide an incredible analysis for this business owner. Okay. So,
We did have a question.
okay.
I don't know if it's more so for you or if it is for Michelle.
Okay.
And Therese, I saw this as well. So she says, I recently saw something about ChatGPT embedding codes into outputs. I literally just saw this on Instagram last night, and that we need to use other apps to remove the codes, paste into words first. And so we're trying to figure out, or what Teresa's wanting to know is this true? Is this really the case, Michelle? I don't know if you've seen it. I haven't even introduced you yet, but feel free to chime in here, or if you want to address the question after you speak, we can do that as
Yeah,
well.
I will kick that one to Michelle because I am not sure about when it codes is not my lane of brilliance. So I
Mhm.
do not know.
Okay. So let's move on. And
Okay.
then I will ask, and if Michelle doesn't know, then what
We
we
can
can
do some
do,
research.
we can do some research. And Teresa, we will let you know because I
Yes,
literally saw the same exact Instagram post.
absolutely.
Okay, now what we have for you on this next screen, take out your phones again, where you can scan this QR code, and we've pulled together a free resource for you. And it lays out just some very common AI tools and what they are best used for. So, not just Chat GPT. Rosin talked about Chat GPT, but if you're wanting to really research other options, this resource is for you. All right. Everybody got that? We good? Can we move from this screen? I just want to make sure everybody had an opportunity to scan that QR code. Now, I get a chance to bring Michelle onto our virtual stage. She is the founder of Haraya AI. Did I say that right, Michelle? Oh, you're on mute.
Yes, Haraya VA.
Okay, Haraya, okay, VA, a virtual support agency that helps overwhelmed founders and small teams simplify operations using AI-powered executive assistants and smart systems. With 17 plus years of experience in operations and HR, Michelle blends her tech-savvy strategy with a calm, people-first approach. She's also known as the AI mom, guiding entrepreneurs through the wave of AI adoption as a team member of the AI surfer community. Her mission is to help leaders feel supported, get organized, and reclaim their time. We take full advantage of the services that Michelle offers. That we are here to vouch of how pivotal she is for DPI. And so, Michelle, take it away. I know you're going to be sharing your screen. So while you are doing that, she's going to be sharing information. But if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat, just like Therese did. We'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you so much, Rosalind, as well. You had some great golden nuggets in there, and it was just awesome to hear about all of them. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. And so again, my name is Michelle, also known as the AI Surf Mom, and I'm really here to help people learn to ride the digital AI wave. And that's part of why I have my name. So today I wanted to cover the top 5 AI tools that every small business should have. And so we'll start to go through some of these. The first one I want to introduce to you all is an AI note taker. Now, there are several of them, and you may have seen them on other calls that you've been on. These include Fireflies, Fathom, and Otter. And what these do is they help to record your meeting audio, and there is also a video option so that you can focus more on the meeting and what's being discussed versus trying to take the notes. That's a huge part of it. A few years ago, we would have like our assistants be the minute taker, right? And now we don't need that with the help of AI in this tool. And so it helps to automate those meeting notes, and it also helps to improve follow up, because at the end of your call, you'll get the recording, of course, and you can always revert back to it. But a lot of them will give you a summary of what happened. And then at the bottom, it'll actually give you action items per participant that was on the call. So that helps, instead of having to go back through and figure out which are the action items for my assistant, which are the action items for me, it will already provide it to you. On top of it, it'll give you an audio transcription. So let's say you recalled a discussion on a topic about, let's just say marketing, right? You could do a keyword search for marketing on the transcript, and it'll take you right to that part of the recording. Instead of having to scan through or hit play and fast forward trying to find where that discussion was, you can just do a keyword search with the audio piece of the transcription, because it does have that text. With Fireflies, it also has AI, Chat GPT, all of the models integrated with it. So directly in the software, you could ask questions about the meeting, such as, where did we discuss marketing? And it will take you to that part of the meeting. So you could do the keyword search, or you could ask what they call as ask Fred, different questions about the meeting. You can say anything that you would, again, it's conversational. So anything that you would want to inquire about the meeting, you could do that in the AI search. So this is a tool that I highly recommend. There is also a QR code there as well if you wanted to go and check it out. Full disclosure, all of my QR codes do have affiliate links for myself as well. But again, there are other tools. I've just found Fireflies, compared to the others, worth the investment for as many meetings as I have. That way we can always, and so my team members, we know that all our calls are recorded. We can go back to them. There's nothing missed. It's easy to search. And on top of it, you can download those transcripts and then do even more with that because that becomes a knowledge base, right? And that's how like LLM tools such as ChatGPT operates based off of knowledge tools. So another benefit of being able to have a downloadable transcription. So before I move on to the next one, does anyone have any questions about this particular tool?
It was a question on, is there a cost for note takers, and is it worth to buy the paid version of AI tools? For example, the paid version of like Chat GPT. So that's a question that can possibly wait, can wait till the end. But if you want to tackle any part of it.
Yeah, so all of the tools that I'm presenting today all do have free plans, which I highly recommend checking them out, see, get a feel for it. Um, and then if it's worth it to you to then go ahead and upgrade. So, for example, with Fireflies, I have about 2 to 3 meetings a day, and or my VAs do, and it's worth the $29 a month upgrade that I've paid for because that includes the video. And I like to see the video piece of it, but that might not be necessary for you. So for me, it's worth that. But they all do have free plans available for you to check out as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So the next one I'm going to talk about is ClickUp, which, if you're unfamiliar, it is a project management tool similar to Asana or Trello or Monday.com. So if you have a team, meaning more than just you, if you're working with collaboratively with anybody else, having a project management tool is highly recommended. This helps you to, organize and assign tasks, keep track of where they're at, assign them to team members, and then have an idea about where a task or project is. So that will help save time in the sense where you don't have to constantly contact the person, be like, hey, what's the status on this graphic? Or where are we at with this blog? Using a project management tool is very helpful in that sense. And the one I recommend is ClickUp because it has what's called Brain AI. Again, ClickUp does have a free plan, but a lot of the AI features, such as Brain AI, is an additional cost. I think at like $7 a month per user. Um, and what this is able to do with Brain AI is just uh, honestly very fascinating. So let's just say you have several projects going on and tasks, and you as the business owner, you don't want to have a daily stand up with these people because you come in and you just want to get to what you need to get to. Well, you can come into ClickUp and just say, you can prompt it, say, okay, what are the outstanding tasks from yesterday? And it'll tell you who all the team members and what all the tasks are. Maybe you want to know what your tasks are for today, because as business owners, we're constantly distracted about things. But if you had things in ClickUp, such as your to-do list, you could just pop in and just say, okay, what do I need to focus on today? What's high priority? And it will just summarize everything for you. So it's able to give you that ability to really, because ClickUp is your knowledge base, anything you want to know about what's in there, you can ask without having to manually search, right? So that's where it's going to save you time. Then you don't have to have these meetings with people to do these constant check-ins to figure out the status of stuff. So it will help with that manual tracking and getting project updates. People will also build out their ClickUp to really be their CRM. So it can do more than just project management. And so, again, if you were to have all that data in there, like different documents and things like that, it can do a search on all the documents that are in there. Again, without having to maybe search like you would in your Google Drive, where you're trying to do a keyword search because you don't know where you filed something and you don't know where a document is. You could use that AI piece in ClickUp.
Can I just chime in here?
Mm-hmm.
That I want to use an example of we use a project management tool. We use Asana within DPI. And let's say I used to just say, oh, we're just doing a webinar, right? We used to just, we're doing a webinar. The moment we onboarded our virtual assistant, Myrna-Lise, who's on the call, we now have webinars as projects where we all have different tasks, whether it's setting the agenda, doing the marketing. There's upwards of 50 tasks just to do one webinar. So we used to just be like, oh, let's just do a webinar. There's like 50 tasks to do one webinar. So when you start looking at all of the different projects that you might have in your business, or if you're not sure on what is actually a project versus just a task, that's where DPI can help you. But it is important to know you can use these tools so that you're more efficient. If you struggle with delegating, project management tools are very helpful for you in your business.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And really, so with the integration of the AI, it just helps to speed up like the writing, the brainstorming, and all of the project planning. And it's very contextual AI. And again, because ClickUp is your database or your knowledge base, That's how you're able to ask it questions and for it to give you feedback on the different parts of your business or tasks or projects. All right, the next tool that I want to introduce is Canva, which many of you may be familiar with. This is a quick go-to tool for like graphic design. And now with AI, it's just taken it to a whole another level. So if you are not familiar with Canva, it helps to complete presentations, social graphics, or documents that can be done in literally seconds. Canva introduced what's called Canva Code, which no coding experience is necessary, and you can instantly make things such as a quiz, a game, an interactive calculator. It can really just generate things at the front of the screen. You can just prompt it and saying, for example, you could upload a picture of one of your team members and say, create a social post about this. So normally, or in previously, we would go use Chat GPT to say, help me curate a social media post. And then we would create maybe the graphic in Canva and then take those items to post it. But now you can do that all within Canva with this new AI features, because it has the ability to have that conversation and go back and forth. And then you can also prompt it to design an image. So just like how Chat GPT right now, you're able to prompt it to create a design. It's it's gotten better because it now does do text, but Chat GPT isn't known for graphic design. That's not its it's a strong suit. So you can do it in Chat GPT, but now that Canva, who is their strength is design, has integrated AI, it's actually better to go in there because it has more of the aesthetics that you're probably looking for. And then you would just use prompting to ask it to create you a design. And of course, you could add in your branding and your logos and whatnot to edit the image.
So we do have a question, Michelle.
Yes.
Is there an additional cost for the AI feature in Canva?
It's you so there's a pro version.
Yeah, I think you
Again,
need the
Canva
pro
does
version.
have Canva is free, but in order to get pro, it's about I think $13 or $15 a month.
Okay.
Um, mhm.
Okay.
And
And then there was another question. Would it be possible to quickly see how the Canva code works?
yes, I can. Let me stop screen sharing for a minute here, and I can pull up.
I
Ah,
used it.
how many of us use Canva? Like just raise your hand. Okay, so it seems like a lot of us use Canva. So this and And listen, Canva creates heartburn for me. I just must say, because I do pay someone to do Canva for me, but I have taken on the task of being my son's marketing manager as he's getting ready to be recruited for baseball. And so it's just a hot mess. So Michelle, I just show me code. Let's see how
Okay.
this works.
So when you come into Canva on the left-hand side, you should see this Canva AI. And that's kind of like the universal icon that people are using. You'll notice like in Google
Mhm.
Gemini and whatnot, right? And so right here, it has already templates if you need some inspiration. And so let's say we want to do a design. Let's see. What is it? Fundraiser. I'm going to make it very simple. Let's see. How old is your son?
16.
And I'm not going to focus on prompting right now. The purpose is more to show you its capabilities. But of course, the more you give it, more context you give it, the better the output. Um, okay, so it gave us a caption. That's great. So and I
Wow.
like that it gives you a couple options. So again, this is without good prompting, okay? But just to give you an idea. So in a matter of seconds, it's able to generate some images, uh, several of them, which is pretty great. And you always want to use like these buttons to help give feedback to the AI tool if it was good or bad. And then up down here, it gives you options if you want more images, if you want to turn it into a flyer, um, maybe use vibrant colors. So this is one example of how it can use it. But if you look at the layout, it's very similar to Chat GPT, right? Like you start a new chat and then you start prompting here. And then you
So
would start a new chat.
this is phenomenal because it kind of ties into what Rosalind was sharing with the more information that you provided, the better the output is then going to be. Thank you for popping us over to that. I
I'm going to
appreciate it.
say about the code though. So for instance, Natalie, when you touch that Canva AI that she just touched, it'll have an example of, she said there's all those templates there. There's one for code. So let's say on your website, you wanted to have a code that you could embed that is a pricing calculator. So let's say you have multiple service, they're building their own customized packages. You can write that code and then put it into your into embedded into your website. Now, is it going to be 100% accurate? I don't know, right? It's all being kind of generated and tested. But those are the type of tools with codes that you can use. Is that
We do
helpful?
we do have a question. Ida asks, when using AI on Canva, if you already have branding colors, logo, all of that, will it tie it in, or do you have to prompt it to do that?
So you're going to want to use your brand kit. If you have your colors, you should in Canva, it has like the brand kit where your logo and your color palette and your fonts are all in, and then you can just prompt it to integrate that.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. I know you were sharing your screen. We stopped at Canva, which is a hot topic. So, maybe we need to do a part two
No
of
worries.
this. But I know that you were going to be sharing. I think there was another tool.
Go back to it.
Yeah.
Okay, am I back
Okay.
now?
Yes.
Sorry, my
It looked like you froze for a little bit, but it looks like you're back now,
seems to be
Michelle.
okay. Great. Yes, let me get back to
While she's pulling that up,
screen sharing my
if you all want to
presentation
see
here.
like a part
One
two
moment
to the
here.
Canva, just let us know if you think that would be beneficial, if you want us to kind of share more information in a webinar about that.
Sorry, my internet's being a little quirky right now, so you cut out. I missed what you said.
While you were pulling up your screen, and if for some reason you're unable to get to the next screen, maybe Rosin can pull it up. But I was just saying, if anybody wanted to have a part two to learn more about Canva and the AI capabilities in Canva, let us know because with that feedback, Rosin and I will determine if, we want to do a webinar on it. And it sounds like, yes, that would be awesome. So thank you for that feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, can you guys see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, so the next tool is going to be an AI assistant. My default is ChatGPT. There are other ones such as Claude, Perplexity, Gemini. I've just been a longtime user of ChatGPT, and again, I do pay for the paid version of the $20 a month. There is also a $200 a month, but I'm not there yet. So it's same thing. Like you get better features, better output with the paid subscription for ChatGPT. And I know that Rosalind had touched on this as far as like having that extension of your business. And that's what we mean by having this AI assistant, because you can actually train it on your business so that you don't have to repeat yourself all the time as far as maybe your writing style or your speaking style, anything like that. You can train it to know more about your business without giving it proprietary information, right? And and once you are using this and you're training it, meaning you're either speaking with it using voice or you're typing, it will train as you use it. So it'll learn more about you and your business the more you use it. And so you can use it to generate content for blogs, newsletter, social media. I use it a lot for brainstorming. That's probably my number one biggest thing because I'm more on the strategy side of things. And so it's really good for that. And it's also nice to use the voice feature if you're more of a verbal person and you just want to talk out your ideas, right? So you can turn on the voice feature of it and brainstorm back and forth. So I even have gone as far as naming mine. Her name is Aria, and so when I bring Aria on, I ask her, I say, "Hey Aria, how's it going? I want to talk about this idea I have when it comes to business. I'm thinking about doing this. What's your feedback?" And she'll tell me, and it's pretty good feedback. But I can also say, what are the cons of that? Why wouldn't I want to do that? Right. So it helps in that regard as far as an assistant. Of course, anything you still want to seek professional assistance when it comes to certain things, but I would view it as more of like a coach or an assistant to help you navigate certain things. On a personal level, I use a lot as well to help communicate, like with my children, because we don't speak the same language, right? And they don't like to really hear from their mother. And so there have been challenges. I have tweens where I'm trying to communicate certain information to my daughter, and there's frustration. And so I bring up Aria. They're very familiar with her, and I say, okay, well, let's ask Aria, why should you hydrate yourself before basketball practice? And then Aria gives the context. And for some reason, it's better when it comes from someone or something else versus mom. And then the light bulb turns on, and my daughter's like, okay, and then believes it, what Aria says. So it's such a huge helper in that regard. It's a great assistant to help, again, communicate with things, navigate, helps me also, work through maybe me not being able to express myself to my children in a way that I would like to. And also, when I'm like, hey, this is how I'm feeling right now, how can I sort this out before I go and approach my kids about this? And it's the same way that you can deal with it in the context of working with your clients, right? Because everybody has different learning styles and perceptions of things. And at the end of the day, we're always trying to come up with a beneficial, like mutual understanding, whoever you're communicating with. And so that's why it's such a helpful tool to have like this assistant to be able to go back and forth with, make sure you're responding the way you would like to versus how you might just emotionally respond to something. And so that's a big reason for using the assistant. And it's the same thing with like with email. I'm sure if you have Gmail, you've seen the little feature where you're able to improve your email communication. And again, a lot of times, especially us women, want to respond emotionally to something that comes across to us. And then AI can kind of help us maybe calm that down a little bit and then respond in more like a professional way that we would prefer. Mm-hmm. So, my tip, it's like having a personalized business coach and life coach all in one. But yeah, any questions on the AI assistant piece of it?
We did get a question from Emmanuel. Hopefully I didn't pronounce that wrong, but it says, does it create business plans? I put, yes, it does. Of course, you make sure to put in the right prompt, but can you just confirm, since you're the subject matter expert, that it can do business plans?
Yes, it can create anything that you would like it to. However, I would defer to, what Rosalind had said before, when it comes to like legal agreements or anything like that, contractual, you would want to seek the help of a professional to make sure, because AI, it's very helpful. I would look at AI as there are these type of tools they give you great starting points. They're great for brainstorming. They're great for strategy, but it's not at the all in be all. You still need that human interaction. And this is why it won't replace humans, but you still need that human touch to go in and verify things and review it, QC it, because you can't believe everything that it gives you. Yeah. It's not 100% accurate.
And I was going to say, as one who deals with business plans, especially through the Small Business Development Center, those bankers, normally you need a business plan if you're going to get funding. They immediately know if it's been AI generated. So it really is just going to be a starting point. It needs to have a very strong, kind of prompt. But when it comes, so it's going to give you the executive summary and the marketing outlet and who we're targeting. But when it comes to the financial projections, like that is what a business owner needs to work on to make sure that you're understanding it and you're able to tell the story of it when you're sitting in front of that banker or where you might be needing to go to get that capital investment. So people are able to take what you output and there are tools that they're able to see how much of it has been generated by AI. So again, great caution. Definitely use it as a starting point, but it needs that business owner touch or a professional to help you with that business plan.
Now,
Yeah.
between Claude, Gemini, and ChatGPT, this is another question that we have. Which one is recommended most, and what are those differences? I will say that AI tool resource that we provided does provide a breakdown. If you need us to take you back to that screen so that you can scan that QR code, it does kind of break down all of those different tools and what the differences are between the two of them. But Michelle, do you have a preference for one of them? It looks like it might be Chat GPT.
1,000%, yes.
Okay.
Like,
And
because
I like Claude.
yeah, it's kind of like a preference right now as far as like, do you prefer iOS or Android, right? And you kind of just explore and find what works best for you. But here's the thing, these are coming, the models are constantly changing and their new ones are coming out every couple weeks. So one week, like Claude will be ahead, and then ChatGPT releases a new model, and then they're ahead. And so there's this constant battle because everyone's in this AI race right now, right? To be like the best. And so you just kind of have to play with any of these AI tools and really figure out what works best for you. My go to is ChatGPT, and they've released a lot of newer features. And so, and I have it very well trained to like my business and scenario in that context. But yeah, Claude is good for writing. And I've used it before as well, but I just, again, it's more of a preference what you find works best for you in your business.
All right. We have another question. Rosin, if you want to take us off a screen share, that's fine too. For someone who's intimidated by AI, what would you say is the first step to incorporate it into your business? We've used ChatGPT for social media, excited to try Canva AI, and now for keeping track of statuses and scheduling of our signings. So it looks like you're already using it, right? So I think it's Sorama's. You're already using it. So that's good news. You're using it with regard to ChatGPT. Michelle, but do you have anything to share there? I know while you're thinking about that, I know for me, I have Ring Central phone system. I don't know if anybody else uses Ring Central. They now have a AI note taker. So every time I get on the phone with a customer, I do have the option to turn on the note taker and it takes notes. I no longer have to write down the notes. Now, I've chosen not to use it for my business because I do collect some pretty private and sensitive information. But if you have a phone system, there may be an AI tool in there where you can even use it for a note taker. But Michelle, what do you suggest for a novice at AI?
What is the question was, what do I
For someone
recommend?
who's intimidated by it, what would you say is the first step to incorporate it into your business? It's already in our businesses, right? So let's just kind of put that out there. It's already in our business. We're using Siri, we're using reminders, but
I would say,
any other way?
so to directly answer that question, I would say improve your prompting. Once you get efficient in your prompting, the sky is the limit. So give it context. And then from there, the next step I would say take one prompt and put it into two different AI tools. Put it into ChatGPT, put it into Claude, or put it into Perplexity and see which one you prefer. And then start using that tool more often than you use it now for a different type of function in your business. So improve your prompt would be the next step, I would say.
Okay, so improving prompt.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Any
mean,
other questions? Oh, Michelle, you wanted to add something?
just, I mean, if you're new to it, it's really about, you're doing already the first step, which is educating yourself, right? Because a lot of us, we are intimidated by things we don't know. So just by being here today and being open to learning, what the capabilities are, what the features are, and how it works is huge. That does show that, you're open. And then, there's some curiosity, right? It's like, oh, okay, maybe I'll go try Canva AI now. And it's really just about exploring and having fun with it. So go into ChatGPT, or go into Canva AI, explore, and get an idea a little bit more comfortable with it. And then, yes, absolutely, like the prompting, once you're ready and saying, okay, I'm ready to use this and I want to use it effectively, prompting does matter 100% once you get into this thing, because it's essentially garbage in, garbage out. So you want to make sure that you are giving it good context. Okay, I'm going to go to the next tool, which is the last one. And am I still screen sharing, right?
Yeah, you're
I'm
still screen
sharing.
sharing. We
I'm
have about
Okay.
just 1 minute because we do
okay.
have a little bit of a wrap up.
Okay.
But I have it.
Yeah, so the last tool is TeleTV. So this is good for screen recording. So if you record videos, maybe for teaching, like instructional videos, or for your team, or for YouTube, or anything like that. So TeleTV, obviously, you can record with you on screen, similar to Loom, but you're able to, with the click of a button, remove all the buffers. And with another click of the button, remove all of your ums and filler words. And you can also edit the text, which will simultaneously edit the video. So you don't have to be a video editor now, right? You don't have to go scanning through the video to figure out, oh, splice here. No, you can just go to the text transcript of it, delete a word, and it will delete that in the actual video as well. So that's in 30 seconds or less, your fifth recommended tool.
That is so cool. There is so much to know. Thank you so much, Michelle. Can we just give her a virtual round of applause? I mean, that was chock full of information. She does provide wrap up your next steps, and we talked about it together. But there's her information. Pull out your phone, get with her. I mean, man, she just provided a wealth of information if you want to follow her. We didn't get to Teresa's question about the coding. I don't know if you've seen that, Michelle, if you know anything about that, Michelle, where it you can pull out codes. If not,
So I'll be honest, I there's a lot of things I don't know. Um,
okay.
but while she asked the question earlier, I did um, put it into chat GPT. So I literally copy and pasted the word. And I don't know if you guys can see my screen. Um, but this is a model 4.0, just so you know, you can change the different models here and they do mean different things. But right now, 4.0 and 4.5 are the best ones. And so basically, it's just saying that there's some hidden formatting codes and characters. It does give the source here as well if you wanted to look it up. I'm not saying this is the answer. I'm saying this is what I did to get the answer and how to use AI. But again, check the sources of it. So it's saying that it's been observed there's invisible characters, but here's how to clean it up, saying using plain text, and some steps that you can take.
Okay.
How to prevent the
Awesome.
issue, and again, more sources.
So maybe there was, Therese, some validity to that. All right, I wanted to just share with you our next webinar that we have coming up. And if you have had benefit from this discussion, we are going to be sending each of you a replay. You can watch it on YouTube. We ask go to our YouTube channel, DPI, so that you can subscribe. It is chock full of great information for business owners, similar to yourself, even those that may not be business owners. Our next webinar is going to be taking place on May 15th. This is a good one. We have a subject matter expert, Terry Sherman, who's going to be talking about, is it time to sell your business? There's a a lot going on. Some of you may be thinking about next step forecasting that, hey, this is when I want to kind of start my exit plan. And so May 15th, we're going to be talking about that. And then on June 24th at 9 a.m., we are going to have our strategic mastermind. Typically, we have that once a year in December to gear up for the next year. But with everything going on, we do recognize that business owners are taking a second look at their businesses. And so the market has shifted. Will you? All right. So we're going to do a 6 month kind of look at your business. There is a paid registration there, but our May 15th is a free webinar. I know I'm 1 minute over, but we have one last slide, and that is just if you found this information successful, subscribe, like us on YouTube. And in addition to that, would you consider giving us a 5-star review? Because as business owners, we all know, and Myrna-Lise, if you don't mind popping that link. Oh, she already has. Myrna-Lise, thank you. Um, it helps. It just helps to support our business. So, with that being said, thank you so much. This was great information, and we will see you at our next webinar. Thank you.